Hi, hello, I'm Ivna and I've been making some GIFs on Instagram and I thought I could come here and show you how I go about and do them. I'll take you step by step on how I do this, this, this. It's so magical, I can never get over it. Me, I like to draw faces on anything. Like, anything.
Faces on small potted plants. Faces on bigger potted plants. Faces on my ukulele.
Okay, the guitar too. Okay, so first step is obviously having a really nice idea that you can animate, which is not what I do. Look how handy this is because my Polaroid has no film, so we're gonna pretend like it's functional and let's go. So let's go find.
I'll grab my Polaroid and I'll film myself pressing the button as if I am taking a picture. I'll do that a couple times until I get the right timing, the right frame, and the right action that I want, which is like 200 times. I'll then import the video directly into Photoshop and open up the timeline panel. If you don't have it, it's up on Window, Timeline. Then I'll go scrubbing trying to find the exact place that I want to start animating. In this case, it's right after I press the camera button. Once I find it, I'll split the video just to locate it easily. Then I'll create my first video layer and start drawing my first frame. Usually the timeline window only comes with the bottom panel. The upper one is a third-party plugin called Anime Dessin, which you can get for free, and it's full of tools and shortcuts to make our lives a lot easier. If you're interested in it, I'll leave you a link on the description. I want to animate a little picture coming out of the camera, so to create the illusion of that happening, I'll have to start drawing what would be just the tip of the picture like you see here, and then gradually show more and more of it. That means drawing a series of frames, every new one slightly bigger than the previous, so I'm slowly working my way to the true size of the picture, frame after frame. Each one lasts about 0.2 or 0.3 seconds. To make it look good, we have to be pretty accurate with where we are drawing in comparison to the previous frame, not to make it too large or too tall, for example. When I enable the onion skin option, I have a faint version of the last frame that I drew, so I know exactly where it is and I can now easily trace on top of it. After drawing a couple frames, I'll always check how it's going and if I need to go back and adjust anything. Okay, so now that I got the full motion of the picture done, I want it to stay in its place for the rest of the shot. I could drag the end of this last frame and make it last a couple seconds more, but that is gonna look very stiff, like it's frozen. I don't really like that, so instead I'll draw it 3 times and loop it, giving it some sort of movement. I'll draw the same thing on 3 different frames, then select them and copy-paste. This is the base for all my little animations. I like to work on layers and add details one step at a time, so I can easily change or delete something if I don't like it. Now let's make this bad boy a little cuter, shall we? Sometimes I'll create a random layer and test things, like this little landscape in clouds. Then I'll animate each element separately, even if they belong to the same group. Because if I change my mind, I can easily pick just the ones I want. For example, I had drawn mountains on this landscape, but I didn't like how they looked when I zoomed out. So if I had drawn them all together, I would have had to go back and erase every single mountain from all the frames, which would have been very annoying. Once I've checked it 1,000 times, debated whether it's cute enough, and once I'm both happy with the result and tired of looking at it, it's time to export. I'll click on the menu on the right and render video. Check for H.264, high quality, and the alpha channel if you want the transparency. Usually I'll export the animation separate from the background video because I'm still gonna track it and color correct. Yay, we don't have to buy expensive film anymore. Now I'm gonna show you how I make simpler GIF animations without too many details and using the frame panel instead of the video layers. I started with a 1500 by 1500 pixel document and a new layer. Then we click on Create Frame Animation. The arrow on the right switches to the video panel. If you don't have the timeline overall, you can go up here on Window, Timeline. For GIFs like words or faces, I'll draw on my first layer the final look already, with the right colors. Then I'll create my second layer, pick a random color, and trace on top of it. We can't be tracing too perfectly accurate because it won't give you the illusion of the movement. But we also cannot go too crazy, or it'll seem too jumpy, random, or, I don't know, drunk. I like to trace with random colors so I can see better where I'm drawing, but that means that I'll have to paint the right colors afterwards. Now we want to show the right layers on each frame. So on the first frame, we turn on our first layer, then we create another frame, turn off the first layer and on the second one. Then we create a third frame, turn on the third layer and off the others. Final step is setting the timing for all the frames. It's automatically set to 0 seconds, so I'm gonna select all frames and adjust it to 0.2. Press play to check it out, and we're ready to export. I'll crop it a bit, turn off the background layer for all my frames, and go File, Export, Save for Web. On the window that shows up, we're gonna check the matte option for none, the looping option to forever, and save.
So that's it. I hope you liked it. I hope you join me on this adventure in animation madness of drawing faces on everything.
Like faces on the sofa, faces on food, faces on your husband's hand, faces on faces?
And if no one understands you, you can send it to me. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna laugh. And we're gonna do this awesome club of drawing faces on things. And that's it. We're self-sufficient. Good job. So if you have any questions, I'll be here. I'm also on Instagram. You can DM me there with anything. I'll be happy to help you. And that's it. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
I also wrote a blog post with even more detailed steps, resources, and other examples, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave it in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching!
I'm Ivna. Ivna. It's always weird to say your name out loud. Oh, I cannot look at the viewfinder. I've been making some gifts. Hi! Basically, you're gonna clap, and that's it. They're here. Bye! Pretty cool, huh? Who does this? Now pretend like you're doing something.
I am actually doing something.
It's snowing so much outside, but I'm here making faces. It's really snowing a lot. I'm gonna show you.